Okay, that's me. All right. What's up, everybody? I apologize. There's still music in the background. I'm working on it. This is a harder than normal start.
Riding the struggle bus.
Yeah.
Beep, beep.
Hopefully it says D&D on the bottom. I hope it's working properly.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Looks right to me.
Good. Okay, the extension should be up. Welcome to the stream, guys. The extension should be up. We should be all sorts of good to go. Okay, let's try again, guys. Come on, here we go. Yeah. There we go. So welcome to episode 5. We are going to be playing the D&D. Quick recap of the last 4 weeks. Mystic Gold went on an adventure after meeting in a tavern. They killed some people. They slayed a sorcerer, and now they're returning home. We're gonna be getting back to them in just one moment. Fortunate, Wonder, and Chewy as Allura, Moxie, and Elios. I got it this time. Elios also were pushed together in a different tavern and sent on an adventure where they found a bunch of undead, murdered some people, and have returned to the tavern, or are returning to the tavern. They've made it back to the city. So we're gonna cut to we're actually gonna cut to Mist and Gold as Metzli and Allura. And
your captions aren't working.
Of course they're not. Hold on, let me refresh it. Dismiss. Okay. They should be working now. Hopefully. Sorry about that. That was bad.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, yeah, they're working.
They're working now?
Yeah.
Solid. Okay.
Yep.
Was that a Thor or a Loki?
Oh, both. They're both probably just fighting. That's what they're doing. They're on the ground behind me.
Solid. All right, so we're gonna cut to Metzli and Allura as they They have just returned to town. With the journal and spellbook and mysterious vial that they were sent out to find. And before that, I need to get a ginormous beer. And one moment. I will let Allura and Metzley figure out their next step here.
I like that it says Metzley and Laura. My name is Allura.
He's not enunciating correctly.
He doesn't enunciate shit. He doesn't. I tell him all the time. Right.
All right. Sorry, had to audible.
She's gonna grab food for the kid.
She has to grab who for the kids?
Food.
Oh, okay. Yes, that is more important.
Alright, so we're figuring out. So we just got to the tavern.
No, you've returned back to the city. You've just returned to the city.
So we're just in the city.
Yep.
Okay.
You are within the gates. It is
Go on, Thor.
around
You don't
noon.
Need a cinnamon twist. You don't need a cinnamon twist.
But yeah,
My cinnamon twist.
How do you
Jay,
spell
thank you
Metzley?
Meztil. Okay. I thought I solved this problem the other day, but apparently bottle openers are uncommon
You
in
need
this
to get-
world.
What you need to do is you need to get one and screw it to the bottom of your desk.
Yeah, that is actually something that is going to. Well, when I have a not apartment, when I have an actual house, that's one thing that is definitely going to happen.
Blue, I think I need to give you like many things. One of such things is a oversized bottle opener.
I have a bottle opener. I just
So
don't
Oh,
know.
you
I'm
don't
asking-
have enough.
I'm telling Metzley that the gates are open and that we should go find Lord Oracord and give him his shit.
Lord Oracord is not who you want to find right now. Lord
Oh, fuck,
Oracord
who do
is
I
in the. Lord Oracord is the elf lord. You're looking for Giles Hammond. Oracord is the he's the elven lord. That's the father of the mage you just murdered.
Isn't that who we're supposed to give the amulets to?
Yes, but he does not live in the city.
Okay, so we just need to do the liquid.
Yes,
Okay.
the quest that you were sent on. Yes, that is like a bonus side quest. Ah, here it is. It was right in front of my face the whole freaking time.
So get a piece of string and connect it to your desk.
Facepalm.
That doesn't solve the problem of it being in front of my face.
At least you can find the string and can follow the string to wherever it's at.
That's true. Although I have to find the nice one. I have a nice one with a wooden handle somewhere.
Did we start in the tavern in this city? Is that where we met the guy?
Yes, you
In this city?
you are back in Iriath, the city of Iriath. Right? Yeah, Iriath. Oh, sorry. My comments don't make sense.
Okay. We're going to the tavern where we met him.
Okay. So you guys head back to the tavern. Roll a. Let's call it a persuasion. See if you can get any information from the people at the tavern.
But,
Actu-
so we're at the tavern.
Yep, you're at the tavern.
Husband! Hi.
What's up, Aspen? You're at the tavern. For the record, this beer is called Lovely, Dark, and Deep. I just want you all to know that.
Oh yeah.
So rolling persuasion.
Yes, both of you roll persuasion to try to convince people to help you find this guy.
Trying to find where my persuasion is. It is charisma +3. So my charisma's already 3, so I need to roll a. What do I need to roll?
Roll a d20 and then add your and then
Add
add that
3.
modifier. Yep.
Roll your d20 and add your and then add your modifier.
17 + 3.
So you roll a
20.
20. Nice. All right. You learn, or what did Gold roll? Maybe.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's the thing we do. It's
I-
pretty great.
I like it.
-1. Let me pull up your character and I can tell you. Yes, it appears that you do have a -1 on your persuasion.
The fuck? Why does she have a -1 in her persuasion?
Because her charisma score?
That's bullshit. I call Max. Well,
All right, perfect. Perfect. So you guys find out that Giles is the owner of a shop in town called the Lost Tower Magic Item Shop. And well, and you guys head, and it's actually a short ways away in the Ruins District, actually.
I almost feel like me and Chewie shouldn't be listening to this.
Oh no, this
you're
is
fine.
you guys are fine.
Woot. Blue called us fine.
I'm a little more than fine if you ask me.
Oh.
I mean, considering all we can see of you is a dog. Yes.
Rude.
I mean, how can you resist those eyes?
I think Murphy is the best doggo and needs all the pets.
He's quite the diva, though. If it's raining outside, he'll just be like, "Nope, I don't want to go outside." He'll be so excited, so excited, so excited. Nope.
All right,
That's
so you guys are
exactly
heading
what
to
I'm
the Lost Tower Magic Item Shop.
Yeah. This liquid creeps me out.
All right. So you guys get there. From the outside, this looks like a modest, average shop. As soon as you step inside, the walls, the furniture, everything
Is it bigger on the inside?
purple, trimmed with gold, and it is way bigger on the inside than it looks like on the outside. Like the shop is easily 4 times as big from the inside than it looks on the outside.
Magic.
Uh,
Oh, you know what I should have written? I should have written, oh, it's smaller on the outside. I should have been like, oh, God damn it. It's an opportunity. Fail.
the things that aren't purple and gold are dark wood that are polished to a very fine sheen. Displays all over the shop, like on the walls, on countertops, showcase various items. There are weapons hanging on racks and on the walls, armors being displayed on various mannequins. And it's not a super busy place. You can tell it caters to a certain clientele, and there's maybe one other person in there when you come in. And there is a... Where did I put him? All right. There is a gentleman at the counter with brown hair that's graying, who is just bedecked in fabulous purple robes, also trimmed with gold,
Okay.
with a little tower logo above the
Of course you've got a logo.
left breast.
Fabulous.
Fancy little bitch.
It is very fancy. It is a very fancy establishment.
All right. I would like to try to see if obviously it's not as it seems. Is that Hammond, the guy with the thing?
I mean, you could ask him.
Oh my god. Okay, let's ask him.
Why are you asking me? What do I have to do with this? I'm just the guide.
Alright, yeah, I want to make sure I'm not missing anything.
Alright, roll
Like
perception
in this
then.
19 plus 3, so 22.
This shop is super magical.
No shit, Sherlock.
And there's just magic pervades everything.
There's fucking magic everywhere.
And the items in the shop are most...
roll on that? The bullshit.
I mean, maybe to find the answers you were looking for, it required an even better roll.
Oh.
How could I have a fucking better roll than a goddamn 22?
Nat 20.
Oh, fuck you.
But the prices and the items in this shop are most definitely not for common people. Like, you're not going to see a farmer come into this shop. You're not going to see... This is, like, specifically adventurers, mercenaries, mages... Like,
so
common folk not going to come in
this
here.
Guy will want that spell book that I've got.
There's a very high likelihood that guy will want the spell book you have.
I want to hold on to this journal. Oh, BT Dubs.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Okay, I'll do it when we leave the shop. I want to read the journal.
I mean, you want to backtrack a little bit and read the journal real quick? Because you had like a full day's worth of travel back to the city.
Yeah, can we fill me in on what the journal says? Because I read it on our adventures.
All right, so the journal. I had this bookmarked. So, from the journal, you learn Amber was always overshadowed by McKilly growing up. And he took his revenge one day during a demon attack on the Elven city that he had orchestrated. This was his second betrayal. The first one was the killing of his little sister, just so that she wouldn't marry McKilly. and because she spent so much time with him. He was banished. He was actually banished for the second time because he had been just recently reaccepted back into the city after the first one, and his father put a bounty on his head. He fled, and he had since been researching ways to bring his sister back, and regain his father's favor by bringing her back. He had been studying under an archmage. All you know is that it's the archmage of one of the great towers. And this archmage was asking Amber to create precursors to something called the Philosopher's Stone. Adventurers had been sent to collect the vial that you now had.
Okay.
But they had... Hold on. And they failed, and the archmage had thought that Amber was dead. But recently he found out otherwise. He had stayed alive, reconnected with the archmage. The archmage forgave him. But he was worried that the archmage now considered him expendable because of what he had done. And so he was trying to raise an army of undead to also regain Nihilip's favor, or the archmage's favor, and become, get back into his good graces, resume his tutelage, etc.
Okay, I'm for sure holding on to that journal. I don't want to sell that.
All right.
Okay.
So now back to the shop. So you read that on the way to the city. Now you're back to the shop. Sorry, Gold. That's a lot of text. I can send that to you if you would like to read it. And I'm assuming you also read it to Metzley.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna go ask that dude if he's Hammond.
All right. So you walk up to the counter, and he goes, "Ah, hello, miss. Can I help you?"
Yes, we're looking for Hammond. For Giles Hammond.
Ah, you've found him. Welcome to my fabulous shop, the Lost Tower. What can I help you with?
Oh, fabulous is a fun way to put it. I am Alora, and this is my companion Metzley. We are returning from the mission you sent us on. Clearly not dead. Thank you very much.
Dick.
Everybody else has died going after this. BT dubs. I'd like to renegotiate our price.
By
the way,
who contacted you about this? First of
You
all,
did.
what adventure were you set on? And secondly, who contacted you?
Well, you did. In the tavern down the street. Wanted us to go after. Right? Wait, hold on. This was who?
No,
Was
this
it
is
him?
not who sent you on the.
Fuck! I don't remember. It's been like a year. The dude that came was some shady ass dude said we should come go after this red vial.
Yeah, and bring it to this guy, and
bring
this
it
guy
to
would
this
send
guy.
it to him.
Okay.
This
Okay,
guy would get it
sorry.
to him. Yeah. This is his middleman. He's just the middleman.
Well, I'm fucking this up left and right, so this is great. So I'm gonna backpedal pretty hard here. I'd be like, my apologies. We just came from a very arduous journey. I'm a little tired, a little upset. My kobold died, and I'm real upset about that.
You're seduced, Kobold.
My kobold's dead. I'm mad. No, we were approached at a tavern by a gentleman who was had us seek this vial of red liquid.
Ah!
And he told us to come find you in order to get that to him, and he agreed to a price of 150 gold apiece, plus a tome of translation for me.
Oh, sure. Okay. I think I remember. I think I remember the gentleman from the Seventh Tower, I believe, put up a bounty a few days ago. One moment. He walks over. Oh, what? What?
I'm mumbling under my breath. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. He walks over to a fireplace in one end of the room, and he mutters a word and throws some powder on the fire, and takes a piece of parchment, quickly scrawls a note, and tosses it in the fire, where it disappears. You guys, wait about 5 minutes, and another note comes popping right out along with the bag. He takes a note. He opens it up. He says, "All right." There is a vial that he wants. He said he has two scroll spells that will allow you to comprehend language, and along with, because of your speedy delivery, a total of 950 gold for the pair of you.
Okay.
Could I have the vial, please?
Yeah, sorry, hold on. I was making notes.
Oh, sorry.
I keep track of all of my transactions.
Self broker over here.
Keep track of everything. Yeah, so we'll hand the vial over.
All right. He takes the vial, pauses as he looks at it, looks at you, shrugs, grabs another bag, throws the vial in it, and chucks it back in the fire. And it disappears.
Well, that's unsettling.
He then hands you the bag that came out of the fire in the first place.
What was that look for? But I say it much nicer than that. I am much more polite than that. I go, was there a particular reason for the glance and the pause before throwing the vial in the fire that I just, almost died to get?
Roll perception. Or persuasion, sorry. Persuasion. Actually, you know what? Roll both.
Dun, dun, dun.
Perception first, then persuasion.
All right, so perception first, then persuasion?
Mm-hmm. Metzli, feel free to roll a perception.
Okay, so perception 15 plus 3, so that's 18.
Okay.
And then persuasion 8.
Okay. So
I'm gonna know he's lying to me, but he's not gonna fucking tell me what. Awesome, go.
He says, so you notice that he's very unsettled by that vial. Like,
He's very
something
blunt
about
about
it, he's unsettled by it. Like, something just doesn't sit right with him about that vial and about the transaction that just took place.
Well, yeah, the whole thing is fucking weird. I just got gold out of a fire, and he just chucked a bag of weird liquid back into the fire. Like, I'm unsettled about what just took place.
Now he says to you, there's actually a magical spell, a portal spell on this fireplace where I am able to communicate with the no longer 13 towers, the 12 towers, the 12 towers of magic, because they occasionally send bounties and need items, and in exchange for items from here. Yes, D20. Because they occasionally send bounties that. Oh, good.
3.
Solid. Solid. So Metzli is really distracted by this really shiny mace in the corner.
Good job. GG.
Oh, hey Acid, what's up? Howdy.
Hi, Acid.
Hi, Acid.
Oh my god, that was great. Okay, so I know he's lying to me. Not lying to me, but he's leaving out important information.
So he says, so that's actually been an established method of transportation. That's just a very strange vial, and I need to do some research.
Telling me it's strange. I got it off an undead fucking necromancer thing.
That concerns me even more. I need to do some research and figure out this is not quite.
Would you be willing to share the results of that research with us? Because we are also unsettled. However, we were hired to do a job and we must fulfill our contracts.
Right as you say that, a dragon with what looks like butterfly wings, little tiny guy, about this big, about as big as your head, comes flying down and lands on his shoulder. And he turns to it, and as soon as he does that, a kid about 14 comes bursting into the shop.
Can I talk to the dragon?
You can try to talk to the dragon.
Well, I speak Draconic and Celestial and Sylvan and Elvish.
All right. Roll. All right, go ahead. Say what do you want to say to the dragon?
I just want to say hi and ask its name. That's it.
Love it.
I want to be its friend.
You and my wife. You and my wife.
The dragon just looks at you with a glint in his eyes, and a mischievous smile curls its mouth, and it lets out a playful roar. Giles looks at it, gives a little chuckle, and goes, "This is Sand. He's actually a fairy dragon. We've been good friends for a great many years."
Well, Sand is the best Drago and needs all the cuddles.
He gets all the cuddles. He gets all the cuddles.
You get your hand out of your fucking hand.
You and my wife. Oh my lord.
I can actually fucking talk to him.
The kid who bursts into the shop says, "Giles, now's not the time."
Bam, Drago.
It's a wee dragon.
Guys, now is not the time.
He's coming down the street. He's really annoyed. Giles looks at the boy and goes, "Again? This is the third visit this week." Okay,
Motherfucker.
go fetch me Owl. Tell her I need her here now. Quick, Chip.
Quick trip.
I will deal with him. You go get Owl. and tell her we have guests.
Please let it be an actual owl.
The kid. The kid darts back into the street and kind of vanishes to you guys. And moments later, let's see, I have owl coming, you guys. A female half elf who's hooded and cloaked, even though it's the middle of the daytime, and is wearing kind of like a dark blue, almost like a midnight blue colored cloak, pops in, and
From the street or from the back?
you don't know. Actually, roll a perception. There's a lot of percepting going on today.
19.
19? You don't know. She appeared.
Hot damn.
Man, these roll checks are freaking high.
She just poof. Giles turns to her and says, "Take them, get them out of here quick. He's coming again." Owl responds, "I know, I told Chip," and nods to you guys. "Follow me." She leads you behind the counter and out into an alley. If you guys want to follow her, stay there.
Oh
It's up
yeah,
to you
no,
guys.
I'm gonna roll up. No, well, I don't go into alleys with strangers that appear out of thin air. I want to know what's going on.
Do you
Before
ask
we
Giles?
Before, yeah, as we're walking, like I'll follow her so we're not in the middle of the fucking store. But I ask him, I go, "What's going on?"
All right, she says, "There's a very, very curious city guard who's been a serious problem. I'm taking you to the tavern. For Giles to call you to the tavern, that means he wants to talk to you guys. So it means something bigger is afoot."
Okay, that's fine. As long as they're not gonna try to shank me in an alley, I'm good. And
Oh
I
no,
say
this
that
is like
just like that out loud to her
she
in
laughs.
Elvish. In Elvish.
She laughs and whistles, and roll another perception.
I speak Elvish. 18.
All right, you see two elves at the top of the buildings of the alley wave down at you. Just letting you know that they're there.
Wave back to let them know that I see them.
Hello.
One of them winks at you.
Oh, is it cute? You open that fucking door, sir.
I did.
You did that
On a
100%.
19, he is also hooded and cloaked, and you can see a hint of a mask underneath his hood,
Okay.
and an eagle feather off to the left side of his face. So you can't really
Fair
tell.
question.
I had to think about what I could give you with your perception
I
roll.
can see enough that he can wink at me, but all I can see is a mask and a feather. That's bullshit. If I could see enough to tell that he winked at me,
His face is covered by a mask. What do you
but
expect
I
to
can't
see?
tell if he has pretty
How
eyes.
much of a mask?
He has
Ben
very
Affleck
pretty eyes.
mask?
Okay, there we go. That's all
They
I'm
are silver flecked with blue.
just saying.
Purty eyes.
All right,
Okay, we go.
so you guys are
Oh,
following.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hi, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
I do.
I love she's
Oh, actually, on your 19, you also notice Owl pause at the doorway on her way into the alley, and you notice Giles muttering something and waggling his fingers.
Oh,
And
good. He's doing magic.
she nods and walks out. And then she starts leading you. Sorry.
Okay.
Needed to add that to your 19. Alright, so you guys are led.
Well, I'm asking her if we're going.
Oh.
I gotta ask the person that's with me if we're gonna go.
Oh, sorry.
Unless you're Wonder.
Fair. Very fair. Mitsley, are you guys going anywhere?
Okay, we're going.
Alright. So you follow Owl, as I guess that's her name, right?
That is now, apparently.
Down the street and to a tavern where you actually go in the front door. And you see the sign. It is called the Harpy's Roost.
Oh, that's complicated.
Inside is a bustling tavern, and she leads you over to a table that has 5 seats. Well, 6 seats. And it's empty. In a corner, near the front where the bard is playing. Like front corner, kind of in the shadows, closest the bard.
Okay, so we're gonna sit down.
Right. And she said,
Please let Moxie be the bar.
I know, that's what I'm like. I'm like, is this where we meet everybody? I hope so.
so she tells you guys, the bartender, they'll take good care of you here. Giles will be by shortly. And she disappears. You have barely any time to notice that she is gone when Ibrariel, the patron of the bar, shows up. She is another elf. And she's also very pretty. Hold on. Where's my description here? Alright, she's beautiful. She's a wood elf, so she has coppery skin with short silvery blue hair. One eye is blue and one eye is hazel. And she's wearing a sleeveless, like, it kind of is like a leather top thing that shows off this really intricate, mesmerizing tattoo that covers her left arm.
Okay.
She comes by the table and says, "Can I get you folks anything? My name is Ibrariel." Wow, that didn't.
I'll be right back. Gotta blow my nose. Hope nobody notices I'm gone.
Okay,
I am
so
the keeper of this inn and tavern. Can I get you guys anything to start?
I want to say hello to her in Elvish, just because I do. Kind of, if there is there a traditional going to be a traditional like greeting for the elves in this world?
Let's go with yes,
But we'll
but
figure out what that is.
your
at a later date.
understanding of the customs of this area are somewhat limited.
Okay.
Even though you've been here for a little while, you haven't quite picked up. You've been more in mixed company, where the standard greetings aren't as used.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just say a simple hello to her in Elvish, and then I'm gonna order a cider while we're waiting, or ask if they have the cider. If not, then the ale. And Metzley wants food. She always fucking wants food.
She smiles at you guys, no problem, and returns moments later with a ginormous bowl. Sorry, 2 ginormous bowls
I ordered
of
food.
steaming. You said food and cider.
Food for Metzley. I want cider.
Oh, well, she brings you a giant bowl anyways.
Okay.
2 giant bowls of just steaming more chowder than even soup, mushroom soup, with a loaf of fresh bread for the pair of you.
Yeah, accurate.
And 2 tankards of cider.
Okay.
Anything else I can get you,
Okay,
dears?
For the moment, I think we're okay. We're waiting. We're not sure who we're waiting for, but we're waiting.
Ah, you're waiting for Giles. He'll be by shortly. He has a lot of explaining to do.
Do you know anything about what's going on?
No, unfortunately. He
Is there
only.
anything you can tell me about Giles that I should know?
I mean, I could tell you a great many things about Giles. We used to adventure together.
Giles? In
Giles.
the purple?
Yep, in the purple.
And the gold?
Yep.
Was an adventurer.
He actually
How
was
do you
so
think he
great.
got his money?
He was actually so great, mage, that he was appointed the Archmage of the 13th Tower for a good while, once we were done adventuring.
The 13th tower. I thought there were only 12 towers.
Yeah, he done fucked up. Sorry.
Yes. The 13th Tower lasted and was sacrificed and mysteriously vanished for the most part. There's a great many things that happened that even Giles hasn't fully understood. But there were 13 towers, and its members, the ones that survived, were absorbed into the other towers after the Tower Wars. His was the most decimated out of all of them. Giles himself stepped down because he felt himself unworthy after all of that.
Interesting. Would you
And-
say Giles is a good man?
I would say he's one of the best. If it wasn't for him, the Tower Wars would have turned into the Fourth Cataclysm.
So you would say Giles is a trustworthy man?
Most definitely. I trust him with my life. I used to trust him with my life on a daily basis, matter of fact.
Well, I thank you for the food, drink, and the information. What do we owe you for all of those?
Oh, this is on Giles. He will be
In that
footing
case,
the
I'll
bill.
have another jug of cider.
She laughs.
And
That's
my
the way
friend
to
here
do
will
it.
have another bowl of food because she's always hungry.
She laughs and says, "Well, as soon as she's finished, we'll get her a fresh bowl."
Okay. And we're gonna wait, I guess, because I don't really know what else to do.
All right. So as you guys wait in the Harpy's Roost, you gather from talking to people around that a lot of a lot of merchants hire guards from this tavern, and a lot of adventurers come to this tavern to get to get postings and listings and a start. You notice that this tavern is unlike Allura, especially. You notice that this tavern is unlike many others. Instead of just being kind of bawdy, Abrariel She runs a very tight ship. Like
Okay.
there's no awkward touching that goes on.
It's all Gold's reaction. It's like Giles put in the bill. Eat to your heart's content. She went, yes. Sorry, go ahead.
Like so there's no it's everybody is
right,
very
yeah.
respectful in the tavern. People know you piss off Abrariel, you're fucked, basically. Like there's a lot of respect that goes towards her that you notice. And it seems kind of weird because she's just the owner of a tavern.
But it's not your typical tavern. There's
But
no
it's not
brooding
your
of-
Yeah, it definitely appears to not be a typical tavern. And there's just like you notice that it just seems really like higher quality than you're really used. First of all, higher quality than you're used to. Second of all, much higher quality than you're really used to.
Okay.
Like nobody bothers you guys. Like that people like it's a different tavern experience.
Okay.
It'd be like an Irish pub in the city
Have
of
you ever
Pittsburgh.
been to an Irish pub?
Hold on. It's like an Irish pub in the city of Pittsburgh that's across the street from a Giant Eagle. I think you know the one I'm talking
got it,
about.
that one. Yeah. Okay.
But imagine something like that, bigger and busier.
Got
it. Yep. Like you're testing your
Don't
Jesus,
test him too much. You're gonna use up all your good juju on bullshit rolls like I did. Go ahead.
I have 60 20s missed.
All right, Laura Bailey, calm down.
Okay, so we're gonna sit and wait.
All right. So you guys don't wait that long. It's gets to I'm gonna call it mid-evening at this point, like 5:36. The sun is starting to, set. Giles pops in, looking really flustered, super tired, and just relieved.
Okay.
And as he walks in, Abrariel is immediately at his side with a drink. And he turns to her and goes, "Thank you, my dear. You wouldn't believe what we had to do to get rid of him this time."
You wouldn't believe what?
What we had to do to get rid of him this time.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask him and ask him how that went and what the guard's deal is.
Okay, so he comes up to you, and he says, so he comes to your table, actually, and sits down, and he says, he turns to Abrariel and says, "We're gonna need a couple more chairs at this table." She nods and smirks and walks away. And as she's walking away, you notice that there was another table with 3 chairs added to your table.
When the fuck did that happen?
Like it's a very magical
Magic.
place.
Can I do like a perception check on what's her face and her tattoo?
Sure.
Abrariel.
Yeah.
Abrariel and her tattoo.
Okay, hold on. I gotta move the mouse because it just. What I said. Damn it. We're rolling this shit on the floor. Hold on. I don't have enough fucking room on this desk.
Sounds like Wonder's disc. Too much shit on it.
I'm halfway tempted to get a rolling tower.
Yeah, I 14.
14. All right. Currently, the tattoo appears to be in the shape of a fox and a wolf and a musical instrument and a shield and a bow. Like, they seem to be incorporated into the pattern of her arm.
Okay. And did I get any information about like her as a person or her abilities or anything like that?
So, from looking at her, there we go. You notice that there's a feather tied under her hair that occasionally moves itself out to the surface and then back in. So, and you gather that she definitely has some ranger abilities. But you definitely notice that she carries herself with something that you would have expected one of the adults did in your youth.
Me specifically?
Yep, you specifically.
I'm gonna file that information away. And I'm gonna be super nice to this lady.
And you can definitely tell she's definitely very leadershipy. She's definitely in command. And it feels like she's in command of something that's more than just a
More than this
tavern. Specifically,
Could I
more
by
than
chance-
just a tavern.
Did I by chance see what kind of feather it was, or just that it was a feather?
Just that it was a feather. It didn't appear for long enough for you to get any.
All right, so Giles, I'm gonna ask him what is going on. Very respectfully.
Okay.
You're like, I do. Look, like we've been waiting. We appreciate your generosity. Can you please clue us in as to what is going on? We were sent on a simple mission that turned into a almost disaster for a vial of liquid that we know nothing about, for a man that came up to us suddenly with no information, and we would really appreciate some information.
In short, what the actual fuck?
Yeah, but nice. Because the dude just paid for Bentley to eat like 6 giant bowls of steak.
So Giles says, so there have been weird events going on. And the Towers of Magic have been requesting more bounties lately. So I didn't think anything of another bounty from the 7th tower. I have one question for you before I can answer any more. Did you happen, this vial that you took, it could have only been on the person of another spellcaster, some mage or wizard or something. Did he also have a book, like his spell book, a journal, anything? Did he have anything else on him?
He did, in fact, have a spell book and a journal.
Could I see them? You can keep them for now. I might pay you for them. I just want to see them.
All right, I'm gonna lean in and whisper to Metzley. So he can't hear.
Okay.
Okay, we let him see them. I let him know that we acquired these at great cost, and I would very much like them returned for that when he's done for the time being. Of course, very respectfully, but just, this is the only leverage and information we currently have.
Sure. So as soon as you hand over the spell book, his hand pauses above the surface and he almost recoils before he grabs it.
It's fair.
And,
Books creepy as fuck.
and he opens it and immediately shuts the book and sets it on the table in front of him and says, "This is a spell book of a necromancer."
Fucking knew it. Oh, I apologize. I had a feeling.
It's all right. I used to be an adventurer. Don't try to hold yourself back on my account.
I just want to be respectful of the establishment and the owner and
Oh, she'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
and the generosity that has been shown to us. I want to be respectful, but this book is creepy as fuck.
Trust me. When our friends basically get they have more or less free reign, as long as they act appropriately, and you guys have been nothing but fine. You don't have to hold back. There's very few things you could do to upset the establishment here.
Okay.
But this is the Book of a Necromancer, and I'm willing to offer you 1,500 gold pieces to take this off your hand and dispose of it. Just because...
The book is going to be disposed of.
Oh, yes, in front of you if you'd like.
Going to be used. I don't trust this book.
I don't either. Let me look at the journal real quick. And I can perhaps tell you more.
Okay.
So he looks at the journal, and he's a very quick reader. And in fact, he waves over another bowl of soup for himself, as well as Metzley, while he reads. He looks up pensively, finally. And he says, "This is worse news than I could have expected. The vial that you gave me was a precursor to the Philosopher's Stone. Which is fine. It's impossible to make the Philosopher's Stone. It's a myth. What concerns me is that a necromancer had a Philosopher's Stone. And because of that, I want to destroy this journal so that nobody can follow in his steps, because I fear he made this, and I want to destroy any way he has, any way that the Seventh Tower can figure out how to replicate his actions." The man you met, I think, was probably by the name of Nylep, or one of his agents.
Okay.
Nylep himself is the Archmage of the Seventh Tower. And if you met with him, that means that this vial that I sent to him is a step in a plan that definitely concerns me.
So we have become unwitting pawns of the Seventh Tower.
You're not the only ones. Unfortunately, this means none of the towers can be trusted right now.
Well, I've never been one to trust the towers, in my experience.
Well,
Had I known this was for a tower mage, I probably would not have done the mission.
you do know that the towers are basically the Academy of Magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about me personally.
Okay. Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. No, he says that to you.
Okay.
He says you do know that the towers are the academies of magic.
I am fully aware of who the towers are.
Um,
I don't have an issue with mages. I have an issue with tower mages.
he smirks,
trained.
half to
Yeah.
himself, and and says, "Yeah, I don't blame you."
Okay.
But this is concerning also because one of the issues that we've been having lately is there have been increasing numbers of undead who've been attacking different settlements and various people disappearing. In fact, recently there was a bounty put out to investigate an elven village that was decimated by undead. And they should actually be returning at some point any time now, actually. But we will get back to them. So you asked about the guard, the guardsman.
Well, before we get too far into the guardsmen, while you were reading, I discussed with my companion here about the book and the journal. Both give us the heebie-jeebies.
Jeez.
And we have decided to let you buy and destroy them.
Excellent.
But we would like them destroyed in front of us.
That is not a problem. So, in exchange for destroying this, I noticed your companion's weapon was a bit corroded and damaged when she was in my shop.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was a mace. So what I'll do is I have a magical mace and 1,500 gold that I will give you in exchange for destroying these two items. Actually, the journal doesn't need to be destroyed. The journal might do well being returned to the father of the returned to Lord Oracord.
You're not concerned that there's going to be hidden information within this journal as far as steps and instructions on how to create the precursor to the Philosopher's Stone?
I feel like most of that is in his spellbook, not in his journal.
Okay, and when I read the journal, I didn't get any hidden information or anything.
In the journal, in fact, you didn't get any feeling of any magic towards.
It's just a regular journal about magic shit.
It's just like a journal of a crazy kid who, like, it starts out like from a young age, so he's kept this thing for years. Yeah, you're
okay. Then we'll have the book destroyed. Yeah. Fucking slimes.
God damn slimes.
Yep, fighting the slimes.
Yes,
All right.
I'd love to have it. It's perfect.
So he hands you over 1,500 gold pieces. And gold, you get a mace +1. So here, I will actually add it to your equipments.
I did forget her mace was damaged. Okay, so 15, so 750.
All right. It is now in your inventory gold.
Okay, and then we each just got, hold on, 15. Right, 950. Why did I just get 3 different numbers? Okay, 1,500 plus 950 divided by 2. So we each
You each
from
get-
this total because the 950 from earlier.
The 950 she gets an extra 50 from.
Right. So
So-
hold on.
You would get
700.
450, she would get 500.
Hold on. So so I have a total of from that transaction I have a total of 1,200 gold.
Damn.
And she
That sounds
got
about right.
12. She got 1,250.
That sounds about right.
Okay,
Then
so
with all the months.
I know. Some rich motherfuckers over here.
I mean,
More money than I know. I was the slave.
spellbooks are worth a lot. Alright, so you notice now that the tavern has grown quiet except for the music of the bard. And it's basically empty except for you guys and Giles and like the Ibrariel and the other people who work at the inn.
okay.
Giles takes the book to the fire, says some magic words, throws the book in, and the book begins to disintegrate and explodes in a shower of sparks.
Okay. Can myself or Metzley roll perception to ensure that the book was actually destroyed?
You
And
can
not set
both
somewhere.
roll and have advantage.
Okay. So we're rolling perception.
D20 plus your perception bonus.
Hold on. Oh, sorry. I've done this one before. Okay, so I rolled a 17.
You rolled twice and took the higher of the two?
Ooh, yeah, nat 20.
Alright. Solid. So, there's...
Hold on. How gold needs to roll?
Yes. I mean, it doesn't really matter because you got a nat 20, but yes.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure that it was actually destroyed.
It is powder.
Okay, it wasn't set somewhere.
It is. You watched it fly right in. There was no sleight of hand nonsense. It went straight to the fire. It is powder. They had to replace the logs in the fire.
Sweet. Okay.
All right. As that explosion happens, the door bangs open, and a grizzled-looking elf strides in, followed by 3 other people. Another elf, a half-orc, and a tiefling.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun.
And you guys want to keep going or take a quick break?
It's fine.
Yes.
I can go get a beer.
All right, so quick break it is. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. We are taking a quick break, and we will be back momentarily. Sorry, I was trying to get through that part. There was a bit of story to fill in. All right, so Wolf bursts in with the setting sun behind him, with 3 others following him: a tiefling, a half-orc, and an elf. And I will let them describe themselves, except for the tiefling, who I will describe afterwards. So whoever wants to go first. Don't all start at the same time.
Hi. My name is Elios. Yeah. Hi.
Don't forget to chat and describe yourself, or type in the chat and describe what you look like. No, you're fine.
I don't like new people. I'm sorry, they scare me.
All right. Vicar.
Hi, my name is Vikar. I come from a distant land and taken here by this guy named Wolf. Is there a reason why we're all here?
What
And-
do you look like?
Yes, what do you look like?
I'm about to put in a chat.
But, your appearance is important. Also behind them is Moxie, a white-skinned tiefling who has a
My name is
shawm gripped tightly in her hand.
I still vote that if Moxie has any songs of encouragement for us, that
And
it
what
must be
needs to
sung.
sing?
I don't think you're gonna get encouraged at this juncture. Wolf turns to you and goes, "All will be revealed,"
well,
and
that's not
points
encouraging.
at Giles and Debrariel, and turns and slams the door shut and leans against the wall next to the door.
Do you mind me asking, why are we all here talking to the man in the purple cloak?
Oh yes, so Giles is super purple. he's like middle-aged dude, black hair streaked with white, like full-on royal purple robes with gold trim.
There we go.
He says,
Elios.
"You were all sent on quests initiated by the
Hold on,
towers."
I'm saying hi. Metzley and I haven't introduced ourselves. I've asked to say hi.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Um, All right. Hello, my name is Allura. I'm a half elf that travels the land looking for work. I also don't trust new people, but sit with us. Giles is feeding us and letting us drink on his tab, so sit and be well. I think we can all agree that free food and booze is a nice lubricant for meeting new people.
Fine. I'll have a seat. I'll take a mead.
A mead arrives. Quite quickly, actually.
There's a motherfucking fly in my
Yes,
office.
food.
I have
An-
murder in my heart. Sorry, back to the game.
All of you
Hey,
are
lady.
served with a bowl of wonderful mushroom soup. And Metzley is served
I
with
cannot
another bowl.
I cannot possibly have any more food. Please give my pets.
Ha! Eat it, motherfucker!
There we go.
Pay no mind to my friend. She is a bottomless pit.
All
Be
right,
sure
your
to get
drinks
my
arrive,
leftovers.
and Giles goes, "You were all sent on quests from the tower. From different towers at that. And they all seem to revolve around all of the undead that have recently been plaguing the area. Unfortunately, the leaders of this city don't care so much about the undead and see other things as more immediate problems.
What could possibly be more of an immediate problem than the undead rising and killing people?
As you say that, Chip comes barging in the door again.
Who has no manners?
I'm wondering where his twin is, honestly.
And is immediately grabbed by the back of the collar by Wolf as soon as he makes it through the door, who slams the door shut also in like one swift movement. It's like a crazy ninja move where he's like grabs him and slams the door and is like, "What, child?"
What?
Chip is a little taken aback at first because, I mean, he was just hauled off his feet by an angry elf.
While he is getting collared, literally, I lean over to Vicar and ask, who's the big guy?
He sent us on a mission as we got into town. And when we were there was someone bringing alive plants. I don't know much about him, but he sent us on this mission. Sounds like y'all had a similar one.
Yeah, we were also sent on a strange, rather unsettling mission.
Giles holds up a hand. Hang on. Something smells like melted plastic in here.
That's not good.
And yeah, no, that's actually a little bit more pressing. Give me just 1 second to figure out why plastic is melting in my apartment.
Yes, stream. How you doing? While the main streamer is gone, looks like you're stuck with a Wookiee who has the picture of a dog. A very fortunate man. A
Wordplay.
a very mysterious person.
Oh, good.
And I'm sorry, I have nothing off the top of my head for gold.
She's shiny. I may or may not be strip mining in Minecraft. And Metzley is just still eating because she never stops.
Never stops chowing.
Did we? Oh, he's not back. I'll come back. Oh shit, lava. No, 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 no.
Maybe.
Welcome back, Jim. Figured it out. I'm gonna have to. I have to go. I have to take my oven apart. So that's gonna be fun.
What?
Oven's cooking itself.
Apparently, yeah. So I left the tray in the oven overnight and forgot about it. Well, I turn on my oven and open the thing, and there's something that definitely dripped onto that tray
Ooh.
and is like all sorts of melted. So either I melted a plastic fork, which I don't have any plastic utensils, so there's nothing plastic I could have melted. And thankfully I put like a cookie sheet down on that tray that I had in the oven, which I totally forgot about. But so something in my oven is leaking some kind of like viscous liquid.
I would call your landlord. That sounds like a landlord problem.
I was gonna say, Perks is having a landlord.
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make sure it's not like there's not like some weird like plastic stuck underneath the top. And yeah, that's the plan.
Roll your investigation check.
Right? Roll my investigation.
Advantage?
I don't
All
think
right,
I get
I
advantage.
rolled
in
an
this situation.
18.
But so
What's
that's
your
what
modifiers?
That's a good question. So that's what my yeah. So I'm gonna deal with that later. That's a
Okay.
problem for future me. Let's continue on here. Okay, so as
Boy.
you're asking that, Chip says he's coming again. This time he's coming here.
Can I seduce the guard?
Guile says, I know, I told him to come, Chip. Thank you for the warning, though. He says, he turns to you guys and says, not a word about your previous missions. Just follow my lead.
God, please tell me I get to
This-
seduce the guard.
This guard is a jackass and a dick. Both. Yes, jackass and a dick.
Oh shit. Got a front and back covered.
His name is
Don't do
Lord
it.
Javert, and he's the leader of the City Watch, though he fancies himself Master of the Guard.
Oh, good. Good.
So, yes, he's a problem. He
is he
annoys
here yet?
adventurers to no end. How far away was he, Chip? And Chip goes, about 2 blocks. He's like, solid. Abrariel? Abrariel immediately motions for the bard to start playing music a little bit louder than she had before, and fetches more food and drinks, and lays out a table for all of her employees as well. Or her and her employees lay out another table for them, and they sit down. Just as the door bursts open, and a tall, haughty, dark-haired man comes in with his face turned in a scowl. Attention! I need to know why there have been so many travelers coming and going. Giles immediately just puts his head in his hands. Just straight, And Abrariel turns to him and goes, well, this is a tavern. If people didn't come and go, I wouldn't have any business.
As she whispers under her breath, dipshit.
Basically. Giles stands up. Javert, I wouldn't have told you to come here. Javert interrupts him. Lord Javert. Hold on, I have to change the...
Oh shit, I'm in Mist, not Allura. I said Allura.
Giles starts again. Lord Javert.
And I start singing a song from Les Mis under my breath. All for a loaf of bread. Just wanted it to be known that Wonder would have gotten that. Thank you.
I get it.
And I don't.
Oh, I get it. I named him Javert for a reason.
I mean, can we maybe steal a couple silver candlesticks?
Lord Javert. These are the adventurers I was telling you about. We hired a group to solve your little problem. And these are the folks who are going to do it. Javert looks around suspiciously.
We're waiting on you.
She's gone.
Who's gone?
Oh, she's back.
Gold.
Okay. Javert looks around suspiciously and says, "Fine, but we have a watch set on you. I know your movements." And storms off, followed by the two guards who were in the background behind him.
Who is
Giles
that
turns to you guys and says, "Well, now you've met Javert, the Lord of the City Guard."
Is he really a lord of anything, or does he just think he is?
He, unfortunately, is a lord.
Shit.
He was given his lordship by Lord Lamardu. Jesus, fuck me in these names.
You picked him.
You created them. Just point that out.
Damn you, logic.
Everybody's name should have been like Jeff and Steve and Harry.
Jeff.
Well, it says Lord Jeff.
And he actually grew up kind of in a rough part of the neighborhood, I guess. He's not from around here, but he became around here and quickly rose to power with his holier-than-thou attitude, and he managed to kill a few criminals. He's actually a really good swordsman. He just should never have been given lordship because it went further to his head.
I lean in closely to Giles and go, "Did you steal things from him?"
Don't steal from him yet.
Keyword there being yet.
I
You
may
don't know.
murder him in his sleep myself.
But
Fair enough.
why? What has he done?
Did you not see it?
He's just a ginormous. He thinks bars and taverns are just cesspools for cesspools, his words, for prostitution and gambling and other unlawful activities. And yet all of those things are legal. And he thinks thieves gather at taverns and bars, and he's so against any slight on law. He would go to any lengths to maintain the law.
I am the law.
Yeah, he feels himself the law. In fact, his goal is to become master of law of the city. A
Oh.
position that has thankfully remained empty for over a century.
So, what is this problem he's having that we're gonna help with?
Yes.
Erectile dysfunction? What? Sorry.
He laughs at that and says, I don't think he's ever slept with a woman,
You couldn't pay me to go near that,
let alone gotten naked with one.
and I'll sleep with
So-
anything.
Even a kobold.
I did not sleep with the cobalt.
Only seduced.
Oh, seduced.
There have been bandits who have been attacking the farms in the countryside, especially on their way to market. And instead of dealing with this themselves, the city guard feels like that is the job of adventurers and other people.
So they want us to be their lawmen.
Basically.
How's-
And unfortunately, it's the only way to get him off our backs for a little while. Because we're not doing anything illegal, but he's such a problem. He impedes everything.
I guess if we need to continue our adventure, we need to distract him.
Yes. So some details, which you don't need to go after this anytime soon. I'm sure you guys have plenty other things you can look into beforehand. But the details are that there is between the city limits and the forest on the eastern side, bandits have been roving and pillaging. They've attacked many farmers coming into town. They've attacked. They've actually ransacked some farms as well, leaving nobody alive.
We need to take care of that for sure.
So, I mean, the bandits are a serious issue. However, the undead are also.
The bandits
Thankfully-
definitely need to be taken care of. But I think
Bandits
the
we
most
can take
pressing-
care of now, actually, very easily. And
But we need some answers as to what's going on, such as what has brought us together, what is going on. I mean, we've Metzley and I fought a necromancer and almost died for a mysterious vial of liquid. I can only imagine what your group went through fighting plants that have come to life. I want to know what's going on.
we
But
don't
there's
know.
innocent people out there dying.
That's the
Right.
problem.
I kind of agree with Vicar, because the bandits will make more dead, and if we're fighting the undead, then that means more we need to fight.
Well, there's actually a simple solution to that. Burn the bodies.
Will taking care of these bandits now get Lord Javert off of our back so we can get the answers that we're all seeking?
What I'm going to do is, while you guys take care of the bandits, is I'm going to try to do some research, because the problem is we don't know what's going on. We were hoping for some answers from all of this. Ebrariel, even to
Yes,
the best of her abilities and through her network, has been unable to glean any information, and I, through my contacts, have been unable to glean any information. Until this journal, and he holds up the journal, until this journal talking about an archmage and necromancy. Which suggests, and considering Nihilip is the one who sent you, or the Seventh Tower is the one who sent you after that vial, I suspect Nihilip is the Archmage mentioned here.
Interesting.
And the Seventh
Concerning.
Tower has a lot of
Interesting.
pull, because it's supposed to be the most magically powerful tower. Which means others' towers could be following them.
Will killing these bandits get Lord Javert off of our backs long enough for you to get the information that we're all seeking?
Yes, and it may even help convince the lords of the city that there are other problems besides bandits.
Then I say we go kill some bandits. By the way, my casual off-the-cuff language is intentional.
Yes, I'm figuring.
Okay. It's done with purpose.
I'm just being an asshole.
We need healthy citizens, so we need to go.
Well, fortunately...
Is there anything...
Oh, go ahead.
Are we going to get any sort of reward for this, or would our reward be never having to speak to Javert again for a while?
If
I have to deal
only
with that.
you could have that reward. That would be worth all of the gold I have. No, unfortunately, this bounty is worth 500 gold and whatever loot and treasure the bandits have on them. Which I'm sure at this point is actually quite considerable.
Will this put Javert in your debt at all?
He's already in our debt, but in his mind, he doesn't see this as a debt. This will, however, get him to shut up for probably a couple days. Because that dude is a dick. He sees this as doing the task of a citizen. All citizens should perform such that the law is upheld. But, in exchange, I think we can sweeten the deal a little bit. Abrariel? And he turns to Abrariel. Which, not Abrario or Abrader.
I'd like Steve for 200. Steve,
Right.
Steve. What is Steve? Correct. I'd like Steve for 400.
Look,
Steve,
I
Steve,
just
Steve.
want the autocorrect to just understand what I'm saying. That's all I want. Or the voice
You did
dictation
it,
thing.
Jeff, Steve, and Eric.
Maybe
Abrariel
in there.
Okay.
turns to you guys and says, "We are willing to offer lodging at the Harpy's Roost at a significantly discounted rate. Normally, for a long-term stay, especially if it's like nine or more days to a month, it's 3 gold pieces per day, and that includes food and other things. I'm willing to give you guys rooms for each of you, as many as you want, a place to store whatever gear and stuff that's safe, and food when you're in town. We'll call it 1 gold a day. And that includes like your rations for the road.
Okay.
So you guys will still get a meal a day, or when you're here, you'll get 3 meals a day. When you're on the road, it's more up to you, but we'll give you some dried rations to help you for a while. And then this is basically, we keep all your gear. You guys always have rooms here. Like, you guys have your own rooms. You'll basically be living here, but be going on adventures. That way you have a safe place to store your gear. Or anything else that you're not using. And it will be guarded by all of my employees. And you look around, and everybody roll perception.
19.
19 as well.
All right.
13.
13, okay.
I need something better to fucking roll on. Because I've got like nothing. I don't have enough ace. Hold on. Let me figure this out. 'Cause rolling it on carpet's not working.
No. Carpet is bad.
Let's try this.
Wait, how?
I made some more room on the desk. Can I re-roll that?
Yeah, go
How'd
for
you
it.
do that?
Still 13. Okay. Even though fuck it balance, whatever. I'll figure something out.
Okay, so you notice that there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 6 employees that you notice in the tavern, and they all look like they have skills that are outside just normal bar skills.
Okay.
And they all look more than capable.
Let's go stop the killing now.
I don't know how much headway you're gonna make now that it's nighttime out there.
Easy there, big guy. Let's get some rest.
There's
Let's get our
people
let's
dying.
get our weapons and our gear in order to be more effective at the killing. We can't do much. You've seen that you've been on the road all day. Your gear can probably use some repair, some sharpening. Trust me, I enjoy good killing as much as the next guy. Let's get some rest and go about this smart so that way we don't walk into something we're not prepared for.
Giles says, you guys can have the best move would actually probably be to have an early morning start, wake up, and then talk to the farmers. They're all going to be asleep right now, and you won't make much headway in your search.
Fine.
We should probably let Metzi digest that big meal that she had.
Oh, she's fine.
We should also stay the night.
So silky.
First
All
thing
right.
in the morning, as sun rises, we're out of here.
All right, so you guys have your choice of how you want to set up the rooms. If you want to bunk up, if you want to have individual rooms per person. The rooms are big. They can comfortably fit 3 people in a room. What is up to you guys?
I'm used to sleeping on the floor.
When you get a bed.
Ilios, I trust you. Let's save the tavern some room. Stay in the same room, protect each other.
But what about Moxie?
I don't even know where she's at.
Blue, do you need to roll a sneak check? See if you snuck away?
Yes, but we don't know Moxie. And what would
we
Wonder
don't know Moxie.
what would Wonder's character want?
Sneak off.
She looks at you guys, and she looks uncomfortable, but she begrudgingly agrees because
Does she want her own room, or does she want to stay with me and that's it?
she's gonna join you in your room as like a
Oh, no.
trial run.
We've got like a suite of rooms. BT dubs.
Yes, 1 gold per room.
1 gold per room
Per room, yeah,
or per person.
per room. I mean, you have plenty enough to pay for like the whole fucking thing, but it's a gold per room per day. So,
Okay, yeah, we'll take.
so in the interest of saving a little bit, and your first 2 weeks are paid already. Your first 2 weeks are being like comped to you guys as in exchange for this bounty.
All right.
Alright, so Moxie does go with you guys. Alright, so the next morning, you guys are actually woken before dawn by the barmaid.
Can I actually be like down in like the common room or whatever, something already doing like stretches since I only need 4 hours?
Sure. Alright, so the rest of you are woken up by Squirrel, the half-elf barmaid.
Wait, don't I also only need like 4 hours sleep?
Yes.
I'll do stretches with Allura.
Alright, so you guys wake up early and you happen to run into each other at the bar and see a quite perky Ebrariel drinking coffee. Unsurprised by the fact that you guys are awake.
Well, she's also an elf, so she knows. All right, so good morning, Elios. I came down to do my morning stretches and routine. Would you care to join me?
After the comments you were making last night, of course.
Ebrariel laughs, turns over her shoulder, says, "There's coffee in the kitchen if you two lovebirds decide you want some. Don't wake the whole house up," and walks away.
Not trying to seduce him yet. Yet.
All right,
I
so
smirk and I start to fall into a like a kata kind of stretching yoga thing. Alone.
all right. So you guys do your morning routine stuff. There's coffee. A couple hours after you guys are down there, you are joined by everybody else.
Oh, this is gonna be fantastic. Okay.
So Metzley and Vicar and Moxie come down to see you guys stretching and stuff. And
Something smells. Dog, did you fart? God damn it, Murphy. Sorry.
Breaking the immersion. Come on, man.
and Squirrel and Mouse actually.
Yeah, she's praying for me is what she's doing.
Are setting food out on the table for you guys for a quick like a light breakfast. There's like a bunch of fruits, coffee.
I look over and say, "You're gonna need to get some more when Metzley comes in." Excuse me.
Squirrel laughs and says, "Yeah, you guys are probably gonna be gone by the time. But we'll bring more out if she wants it."
So we know where we're headed, right? The general direction, at least.
Yep, you guys are gonna. It's east of the city.
We don't have time to eat. We have to start traveling. Let's grab the food and go.
We always have time to eat. We must come up with a plan. We can't just run out there without knowing what we're going to be doing. We cannot just go out waving swords and attacking random people. We should probably talk to the farmers on our way out to glean what information we can.
It's a long walk ahead. We can talk as we go and talk to the farmers when we're there.
Stuck fast until. Wait, that came out wrong.
The gold is over there dying.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
I had to say for the-
I love it.
All right. So, Metzley, you find your backpack is just stuffed with dried fruit. Apparently, overnight, some of the inn staff had snuck food into your pack.
All right. All right, everyone. Let's grab some food and make our way east. Vicar, I know you are. Hold on, I can't shit either.
You can't shit.
Hold on. All right, everyone, let's grab some food and make our way east. Vicar, I know you are eager to kill bandits, but we must handle this carefully so as not to spook them.
What do you suppose we do?
Well, let's start walking before Vicar has a coronary.
Thank you. I understand, but they may be dying as we wait.
Agreed.
Okay, so we're gonna go instead of argue with Vicar because he's starting.
All right.
Get
So
on
as
her.
Orc rage is about to come out.
as he manages to handle the apple stuffed in his mouth, and you guys make your way along the streets, you get to the gates just as the sun is rising, and the change of guard occurs, and they start lifting the gate.
Okay, so we're obviously walking down the road.
Yeah,
We
so
can
you
discuss
are now
the
at
plan
the
of attack
wall
on
of
way.
the you're now at the wall of the city. You've reached it. It's now sunrise. They are lifting it. You are like the first people through that gate.
Okay.
Let's find where the farmers are at and talk to them.
So you guys just follow the road to the farms?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys trek for almost an hour. and you reach a set of farms. There you go. Sorry, keeping track of the time of day. And you hit a row of farms that seems to be there. That is there. Sorry, not seems to be there. That is there.
Is there a landowner?
You notice that at one of the farm, actually at each of those farms, there are people. There's some people, some kids gathering eggs from chickens. Older, like you see like heads popping in and out of the fields.
Okay. So we.
It seems pretty business as usual.
Okay. I say we approach and find out where the bandits are coming from and talk to the homeowners.
All right, so you're
Please,
gonna.
my friend, lead the way.
All right, so you're gonna just go up to one of the farmers and talk to them.
Yep.
All right. You walk up to one of the kids gathering chickens. He points you to his it's like my pop's down that way, and so you go, and he notices you guys coming, and he stops and he turns to look at you guys and says, "Oh, city's finally decided to do something about their pulling the guard, eh?" And it's like this grizzled older guy, sinewy, muscly, tan from being in the sun all day. What brings you lot out this way?
Well, we heard y'all were being attacked by bandits, and the city won't do anything about it. I can't just see innocent people die. Do you know where they're coming from?
Oh, the bandits! He laughs a bit. They usually come about once a week. They usually attack, let's see. Today is a Tuesday. They attack more on the Saturday, when we go into the Saturday market to get the bigger holes. And they usually come down from the edge of the forest there and hit the first caravan that seems to be coming through.
So it's not a daily attack. It's every time you go into market.
Oh, it's like a weekly thing. It's been going on ever since the city pulled their guards into the city about 2-3 months ago.
Have you seen a bandit camp?
I have not. We've stayed over here. It's safer that way.
Is-
The
Is there anything
Johnsons
that
went
they're
down.
after in
Hmm?
particular?
Say again?
Is there anything they're after in particular?
No, they just seem to be after the foods. And they don't take kindly to people going and investigating them. The Johnson twins went, and their whole farm got burned down. The twins never returned, but the rest of their family's all right.
Are they heavily armed?
I would say so. Word is, I haven't yet been hit by them, but word is there's at least 8 of them. They definitely have weapons. We're just farmers. We're not fighters. Those of us who have seen war are tired of it.
Do they seem to have much armor on them?
I don't know. I haven't seen any myself.
Do you have any idea of their numbers, or can you point us to anyone who would know?
Well, the Johnsons might have gotten a good look when they surrounded the farm. Word is there's at least 8 of them. But Johnson's actually, they've been staying with the Calhouns. Two farms up that way.
Well, let's go talk to the Johnsons.
We thank you for your time and information, sir. hopefully we can handle this situation.
Yeah, thanks, dears.
To the Johnsons.
Let the Calhouns know that we're expecting them for dinner.
We will. Thank you for the help, sir.
No problem. All right, so you
I have a
guys.
feeling that Victor's already like halfway down the road,
Yeah, so
I
you
got
guys
the
travel
information I
for
needed.
stomping his way to the Johnsons.
for another 2 hours, because 2 farms
God
down
damn.
is like way the fuck down.
You give me a goddamn
They've
horse.
got just a few acres to work.
Shit, need a horse.
Yeah.
And okay, so you get to the Johnsons. There's clearly 2 families here, and they're actually pretty sizable. You actually catch them. It's actually at about noon at this point, so everybody's actually come back into the house.
Son of a bitch.
I'm not wrong.
Was I able? Am I?
Okay, so we're there. Are you gonna take the lead again, or banging on the door? Where are the bandits?
So you walk up to their porch, where they're all just kind of watching you, wondering what you're gonna do. And um,
Sorry, I'm just being a child here.
oh, you're fine. And you notice this group is a little bit younger than the old grizzled dude that you just talked to. And one of the men steps forward immediately as you guys appear and say, "Hey, if you're after any trouble, we don't want any here. We don't know who you are. We don't know what you want. Just keep on moving. We don't want any trouble."
I assure you, sir, we're not here for trouble. We're only seeking information about the bandits. I cut off Vicar, by the way, before he opens his mouth.
The bandits. Oh. Hey. Rosie, you hear that? They're here for the bandits. Go ahead and tell them. And one of the other guys walks forward. His arm's in like a sling. He's like, "All right. All we know about the bandits is that they live down that way." He points at the forest. And they don't like when people go looking for them. That's the only time they've ever harmed any of us. Other than that, they just ask for half our wagons of food and leave us be. If you want to start with them, make sure they know that we didn't send you, you ain't from us, and you have nothing to do with us. Uh, what do you want to perceive, Metzley?
Allura, I was trained for a while by Wolf. I see you're half elf. How are your tracking skills?
I'm looking. Hold on. Where'd my mouse go? Hold on.
Sure. Let's do a perception check.
Well, shit. All right, 20.
I rolled a 24 total.
So, well done. Well done. Um, it seems like this group of farmers, they're very tight knit. They view the bandits as more of an annoyance than anything else. They don't have a real reason to attack. Like, obviously, their livelihoods is being damaged by the bandits, but the bandits are letting them live. And in comparison to the city, who just kind of abandoned them. So they just kind of feel a little betrayed by the city, but ultimately they're
They are who they say they are.
Yeah.
And what I just said to Elios, that's right, correct? Like my tracking's not the best. I'm better at reconnaissance and stealth, correct?
yes.
And it's accurate for me to say that I'm pretty decent at tracking because of my time with Wolf.
I mean, it's gonna be based on your investigation.
Although I have a pretty decent investigation.
And
I have a
nature.
+4 investigation.
I have a
It's gonna be
+6
investigation and nature. Is gonna
I have-
be
+6 to investigation and +4 to nature.
I have
No,
+2 on
no.
nature.
I have nothing on nature. Sorry, I have +6 because so the plus it only counts on the one that it's checked on, right?
Nope. All of those pluses are the correct.
Okay, so I have a +6 and a +4. So apparently I have good tracking.
I have +2 on nature.
All right. Actually, it's hold on. Okay, I'm wrong entirely. It's actually survival, is what you're gonna roll.
Oh yeah, I got +1.
Okay,
Oh,
so
Survival, I have +5.
Perfect. Okay. Cool. No, that's fine. As long as we're getting the right stuff. Because
yeah.
I have my stealth is +7. My investigation is +6.
My stealth is +4, and my investigation is +4.
Okay.
I have like super good dexterity, then wisdom, then intelligence, then
Yeah.
strength.
Mine's dex and then intelligence and charisma are my top 3. Okay, cool. So, sorry.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
get
a
back on track.
survival. It's a wisdom check. So yes.
So I guess do a survival check.
Hold on before we get there. Hold on.
Oh, that's weird. Okay,
All right,
cool.
can you tell us their numbers, weapons, armor, anything that may be of use in finding them?
There's around 8 of them. There could be more. There was only 8 of them who came to the farm. They don't seem too well armored. They had bows and some swords. That's about it. We didn't really get a good look at them. They definitely don't use their whole numbers because there's always some rustling in the bushes and arrows that come out of the bushes when they ambush the caravans. Anymore, it only takes 2 of them to stop the caravan. We just give them what they want and move on our way.
Quick question for you, Blue. On my weapons and stuff like that, because I do have those 2 daggers. Can I equip those with my sword?
You can equip a dagger with your sword, yes.
A dagger. I can't have them both, but I can have one.
That is correct. I mean, you can have like a dagger ready to go at your belt,
Yeah.
but
okay. I just
so
wanted
like
to check
if you,
I have it equipped and I wasn't sure, so I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
so okay, so let me put it this way: if you're fighting, like you can attack with, like you can either have equipped a sword and a dagger because you only have 2 hands, so you have to pick what's in your 2 hands.
Right. No, I was just making sure.
Yeah, like you can have the other dagger at your belt, so if you throw one dagger, you can draw your like the belted dagger.
Okay. Okay, that was all I needed for that. Okay.
What do you guys think of having myself and Alert venturing on ahead to check for traps and people?
Y'all go scout the woods while we get ready for a fight.
Sounds good.
All right, so are you all gonna go to the woods, or what's the plan?
We're all gonna
Uh,
head towards the woods, but we're not gonna enter them until they scout.
Okay, so you're gonna go to the fringe of the woods.
Yeah, so Elios and I will go into the woods while Moxie, Vicar, and Metzley hang out
All right,
and prepare.
all right. Go ahead and roll survival, both of you.
D20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Survival.
God
sweet.
damn.
All skill checks are a D20.
Woo!
Actually, pretty much every roll is a D20 unless you do damage.
I got a
special.
23.
I got an 18.
All right. So you guys notice some faint tracks heading along the fringe of the forest that just head north for a ways.
All right, so Elios, would you take the lead? And I'll follow and disarm any traps that we may find. Since he's obviously better at tracking, I should not take the lead. Okay. All right, so we're going forward. I'm following Elios.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you guys are the rest of you guys following?
They're trailing behind.
A
Okay.
good distance, enough to not to like kind of have us in sight, but
If you
at a distance.
stumble upon something, we're not all up in it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so for this, Elios, you're in front. Roll your first survival check with advantage.
So you said that's a double roll, right?
Yep, double, take the highest of the two.
Survival, you said?
Mhm.
24.
Okay. You you still see the tracks. They're still going north, and this is really weird because they're leaving this cluster of farms way behind, and they're heading towards. And you can see, because you're an elf, in the far distance north is a second cluster of farms.
Okay.
All right, roll your second survival check
With initiative?
with advantage. Yep.
Oof. Grand total of 10.
All right, this one's going to take you some time. You lose the tracks for a minute. Roll an investigation.
I got a 19.
All right. You're trying to find the tracks, and you put your hand on a tree, and you're about to step when the sixth sense kind of kicks in, and you stop. You're about to step in a snare trap.
All right, so I come up.
Sure. Roll
Um,
what's a disarm? That's going to be sleight of hand, I think.
all right. And I also have my my thieves' tools. So sleight of hand.
Yep.
Okay, so that's. So I have a 21.
All right, you easily just snip the rope. The tree goes whoosh, right back up, and trap is disarmed.
All right.
Ilios, you're back. Roll your third survival check.
With advantage.
Yeah.
I got a 16 plus my 5, so 21.
All right. The tracks lead you to a farm. This one on the northern side of the city. Out deep in the fields, the tracks lead right up to a scarecrow. Roll investigation. Actually, and Allura, roll investigation as well.
I got a 17 total.
I got 19.
The scarecrow is the farmer. His head was severed,
Oh shit.
and his head was stuck on a pike, and then the rest of him was tied up to the posts.
Fucking assholes. We're not dealing with just mere bandits.
All right. The rest of the fields are just deserted.
I get the feeling I need to.
Night
Good night,
Aspen.
Aspen.
Good night, Aspen.
I get the feeling I need to do some more tracking.
All right, you guys are going to continue the same way you're going, with you and Allura up front and everybody else lagging behind?
Mhm.
Okay.
And I got a 19 on my survival check.
All right. The tracks lead you to a second farm. At this point, the sun is getting close to evening time, and you guys have spent most of the day out there searching. You run into the farmer, and his door is locked. He's not letting anybody into his house.
He's not letting anybody in.
Nope.
We're knocking and.
Yeah, he's not
answering.
letting anybody in. No, he's talking, but he's not letting anybody in. He says, "Are you one of them? Are you back for more?"
No, no, no. We're not one of them. We are hunting them.
You just missed them. Keep going the way you came, the direction you're going. You might just catch them.
Is there anything you can tell us?
They're big. They're greedy. The bastards.
How many were there?
Round 8.
Okay.
I think we can safely assume there's going to be at least 10 once we get to their camp.
I'm gonna be on the pessimistic side and say we're gonna fight up to 15 of them.
Okay. So we're going to keep going.
All right, you
We
guys are
don't-
gonna
we
keep going the way you were going.
Mhm.
All right, roll survival once more, and stealth.
I got a 17 on survival.
Okay. Both of you roll a stealth at disadvantage.
What's that mean?
Roll twice and take the lowest of the two numbers. Metzley, they were headed in the direction you guys are heading.
God damn it. keeps falling off the table.
I got a total of 10.
Okay. Also
I
roll a
got-
perception. Normal perception.
I got a total of 15.
Okay.
Also got a 15.
Is perception at a disadvantage too?
Nope. Normal perception.
Damn it.
Oh, yeah, that's what my perception was at. 15.
How
Sorry.
far behind do you guys want to be?
You're the DM.
Metztil and Vicar?
All right, I got 22 on perception.
I'm gonna guess that they're at least 50 feet behind.
Shit. Metzley with another natural 20 there. Fuck.
She's just like, TBD.
All right. As you guys are trekking towards the third farm, Metzley, you guys are tramping along. Metzley comes and grabs both of you and points to the sky, and you guys see smoke rising. She
Okay.
then points to. Sorry, I shouldn't say that you're doing stuff. I apologize. You then notice, Metzley, two guards around, or two people around where the smoke is coming from. You can just barely make out the farm at this point, and you see two people standing outside the front. And smoke is definitely like coming from behind that house. Like the barn
How
was
far
on
away
fire.
are we from that house?
This would be the edge of your vision, so I'd say 600 yards.
And there's two of them.
And Metzley notices two.
Yeah, I'm guessing she tells us.
Car.
Yeah, that was outside my house.
Do you guys want to sneak closer
I
to
have-
200
I
yards?
I have stealth and a sneak attack. I can use on one.
So you guys are gonna regroup and kind of plan something out here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. They as of yet don't seem to have noticed you.
I don't know how to spell this word.
Trying to spell words.
Yep. So we need to get close, not to be bombarded by arrows.
I can take one of them out with stealth. Can one of you take the other?
If you can bunch them up, I can cast a spell that does a lot of damage.
They're standing right next to each other.
How loud is your spell?
Blue, I don't know how loud my spell is.
That is which spell?
Because it's the Hail of Thorns that I'm thinking of.
I'm gonna actually say that it's actually pretty quiet. I actually tell you what, I'll let you roll stealth for how loud it is.
Cool. Come on, heart of the dice. Okay.
It's not comforting, sir.
An 8 plus my 4 is 12.
Okay.
God, go sleep with food.
I mean,
that grin saying it's not gonna be quiet.
you are welcome to try. It could be quiet. It could not be quiet.
Does anybody else have anything stealthy, like a bow?
I'm in a chainmail with a javelin.
Yeah, he gets disadvantage on his stealth checks.
Yeah.
What about Moxie? What's Moxie have?
I am an archer.
Moxie goes, I have nothing quiet.
Because I can sneak up on one of them.
I think our
Wait, hold on.
Moxie, can we use you as a distraction?
No, because
I really would not like that.
Okay.
Sneak back, hold on. Where's my? Hold on. Where the fuck is it?
Moxie pipes up again. I think the best option would actually be to shoot him with the bow, while Allura, if you can hit the other one.
Because let me look at one thing really quick. Okay. Yeah, so what I'm gonna, okay, so let's do. Does anybody have any fire spells?
Um,
No, I got no spells.
I think I can use Firebolt with my bow.
Yeah, that spell attaches itself to your arrow. And so your arrow will do normal arrow plus the firebolt
Oh.
if you hit. But you have to decide before you roll your attack.
Yeah, hold on. So,
And then that charge is expended.
let's take out the guards and then go after those in the house. Can't do shit. Because then we can cause a distraction and some mayhem, and they're going to come out disorganized if that works. If the house isn't made of stone.
What's your distance to the house now?
Are we
What's our
200?
distance?
Are we 200? We got up to 200.
Yeah.
Roll an investigation.
Me or Elios?
All of you.
Gold's gonna get the nat 20. Alright. 21.
Okay.
I'm liking this dice tonight.
22.
Okay. Metzley. Solid. All right. Allura and Ilios. You notice that the house has already been burned down.
Okay.
Like the house, like the bare framework of the house is still standing, but it has been burned.
So, but we can only see 2 people.
But you can only see 2 people who are stationed outside.
All right. Let's fuck it. Let's go. Hold my beer.
Let's go in. Let's fight.
All right, roll roll a initiative. Roll d20. Actually, wait, before you roll,
I have to get up there.
you know what? We're going to call this a surprise round. Roll your initiatives. We'll go with the surprise round real quick.
That's D20, right?
Mhm.
Is that plus anything?
Plus your initiative.
Grand total of 8.
Wait,
Okay.
what's my initiative? Where's that? Hold on. Initiative
16.
5. Okay. I have 18.
Did you roll wonder or you want me to?
I got her.
Okay.
What's Gold's initiative?
She's trying to. She clicked, I think, and it didn't work because the way her face looks.
I don't know why I can't let her roll.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
24. Okay.
With the
What?
nat
That
20?
did two. That did 2 20s. Just do the first one, I guess. Because she did 2 20s.
Yeah, I took the first one.
Should we look to capture one of the bandits
I would say we kill him.
for information?
We'll try to leave one of them alive.
Yeah, we don't know how many there are.
Allura, I'm saying you're within 30 feet. Roll stealth. Because you guys decided to go for it. You guys are where you guys said you were. As far as your plan. So roll a quick stealth.
Okay. $26.
God damn.
26. Okay, cool.
I've got really high stealth. My stealth is +7.
Nice.
My stealth is not.
You have You are not stealthy.
I've got nothing above +5. Rip.
My stealth, my sleight of hand, my deception, and my acrobatics are all +7.
My athletics is +7. So what are we doing?
We're waiting on Gold.
Okay.
I think she wants to keep moving.
What does bless do?
She should have it, I thought, because I thought she had it last time. Okay.
Yeah, it's under spells.
That was an impressive roll of the dice that happened. So impressive. Oh, never mind. I found it. Somehow this dice managed to go into my lap and roll all the way down my calf,
Nice.
down to my ankle, and then off into the ground.
Oh.
And it
man.
was the 15.
Takara, Allura, and Elios. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So all of you, whenever you make an attack roll or saving throw for the next minute, you get a D4. You can add
Okay.
To our hit or to our damage?
to your attack roll or your saving throw.
Okay.
So the hit, not the damage.
Okay.
All right, Metzley, is that everything you would like to do? Oh, 4 creature, 3, 4.
Or stop it.
Wait, do you get a level 2 spell yet?
Okay. That's all she wants to do.
Next is Allura.
All right.
So you are within a movement of one of the bandits, and he does not know you're there.
Okay. So I am going to sneak attack one of the bandits.
All right, go ahead and roll attack.
What do I roll for attack again?
D20.
Just a D20?
Yes.
No initiative or anything? No.
Your
modifiers?
initiative is already there.
Okay. So I don't. So it's just the D20 value.
Your D20 plus, it's your D20 plus your hit / DC next to whatever weapon you're using, which I'm assuming is Dorwine.
Yeah.
So you have a +8 to your hit.
Okay. So 27.
27 most definitely hits. So for damage, you're going to roll 1d8, you're going to add 6, and then you're going to add 2d6 to that.
Okay. So hold on.
Oh, damn.
So I'm gonna roll a D8
Mm-hmm.
and 2D6, right?
Yes.
Okay. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 15 plus 8
Yes.
is 23.
All right, he is super dead. The first guy, you just come up and with your sword, you just like right through his back, and he's just
Still
like
dead.
dead.
Okay, he's dead.
In parentheses, death.
Death.
All right, next is Vicar.
How close am I?
You are about 120 feet. You can also elect to hold your turn for after Elios, who is last, unfortunately.
Well, I've got a walking of, or whatever, of 30 feet. So
Right.
I guess I was moving in closer.
All right, so you can spend your action to do a dash, which moves you an additional 30 feet.
So
Yeah, but remember, you're loud.
I know that.
Chainmail. We are trying.
Yes, but you've already surprised these guys,
And they
and
already know we're there. You've
yeah,
already
now
killed
the
one of them.
second sentry knows you're there.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm moving as close as I can.
All right, so you move 60 feet closer. Moxie is going to inspire Elios and say, whatever you do, make sure you hit him. And she pulls out her wonderful sham and doo-doo-doo-doo.
That was beautiful. I love it. I feel so encouraged.
Feel so inspired?
So you get a...
I think that was a D. 6, was it?
Yep, 1d6.
Plus whatever I hit.
That
So-
adds to your hit roll, yeah.
And a D4 from
And a
Wes.
d4 from that you can elect to use from your bless.
Oh, I don't think I used my D4.
I don't think
Well,
you
I don't
needed
think
to,
you
it's
needed it.
24.
Alright, so I've got 6 plus my hit already of 9.
All right.
So let's hope I don't do a 1. You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Did you just
rolled
roll
a one.
one?
I rolled a nat 1.
Good
Oh,
All right.
God.
So you go to shoot and you just miss. You just
It's not dark enough. It's not dark enough.
I had a
all right.
bonus of 15
That takes us back-
and I rolled a 16.
That takes us back to the top with Metzley.
Oh Lord.
I cannot believe it. I give you a fucking new bow and you miss on your first shot.
It's not dark enough. I can't fuck yet.
There is no sun. It's setting behind us.
The sun was setting in my eyes. My other eyes. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. You can cast I think daylight, right? With your shield,
Shield is fucking awesome.
I believe. Daylight.
Just so you guys know, her shield is fucking badass.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the wrong person. Yeah, so okay, what is your save? What is your spell save DC?
God damn it. Chewie, don't look at her shield.
That's the only way to explain it.
Okay. Wow, if I'm not mistaken, that's a person, yes. So, okay, wow. That makes no sense. So, I'm fairly certain I failed the spell save because I rolled a 10. So, pretty much no matter what, I failed it. So, the bandit will get disadvantage on his attack. Is that your whole turn, Metzley? Okay, perfect. Allura, you're up next.
All right, well, I'm going to kill the other guy.
All right, roll attack.
Since apparently I can't do shit.
Okay, attack is D20.
Yes.
Wait, d20 plus what?
The +8 with plus the d4 if you need it.
All right, 23 without the plus.
Okay, that dude is hit.
Gosh.
Roll your damage.
All right. So 1d8 plus 6. I mean, I can. I don't think I can sneak attack since he knows we're there.
That is correct. I mean, if you roll above a 3, he's dead.
These guys have no health.
This
So
guy has no
3
health.
Plus 6. So it's 1d8 plus 6. He's
Yes.
dead.
Okay, what'd you roll? Oh, yeah, he's super dead. All right, with that, you just pull your sword out of the first guy, see the arrow miss, you just, like, glare at Ilios for a
Really?
second, then you just stab the second guy, and he just, like, stares at you and the blade in him, and slumps over dead.
I should have seduced one of the guards.
And before you can do anything else, that's where we're going to stop for tonight. And we're going to pick it up right here next time with the guards dead. Nobody alerted yet, because the guard hasn't even had a chance to go yet.
Unless it was my arrow.
You guys seemingly still catching the bandit camp unawares.
Where did his arrow go?
Like in the ground at his own feet. Because he dropped it before he let go of the bowstring.
Because he rolled in that one.
Because he rolled a nat
Kobe.
1.
I certainly Kobe'd that.
You didn't hit yourself with that.
Alright. Thank you all for watching. Those of you who are watching, those of you who came in late, the full episode will be coming out on YouTube soon. There'll be links down there somewhere. There should be a YouTube link down there. Hopefully it's right. There's a streamer named Code Blue who will eventually be getting his shit together. But in the meantime, we will see you all again next Tuesday for more fun. And hopefully we will start earlier because we will have less technical difficulties.
Yeah, like
Significantly
This-
less technical difficulties.
shit not working.
So, thank you all for watching. We appreciate you a whole bunch. As always, be excellent to each other in Keela Sarai, and remember, Valar Morghulis. Because all men
Bye.
must die. Good night.
Toodles.